Start. And that's it. Hello. Welcome back to the project of technological literacy and education Erasmus Plus strategic collaboration project. We are having the fourth session of our seminar on live streaming. But today we are here with educational technologist from Estonian Academy of Music and Theatre, Piret Lehiste, who is going to give us lots of practical tips and tricks, tools, and solutions how to keep the audiences or students engaged while we do the online sessions, while we do the streaming, what can be done so that they are not bored. Thank you very much, Piret, for doing this for us. I wish you all a lovely session. And Piret, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Kari, and welcome everyone. I hope you've had a nice day so far, and that you are going to enjoy then this last session of our online seminars on live streaming. So most of you took part in my live streaming basics session on Monday, but today then I'm not really into live streaming at all. So of course those things that I'm going to introduce can be done during live streaming, but you can think about it more broadly, because we are going to look at how to engage our audience during online or offline events. It might be just an ordinary conference or a lecture or anything like that. So you as teachers, members of academic staff, or you as organizers of different events. So some of those platforms might be useful for you, but I'm not saying that all of them are appropriate in your case. So you can just decide on your own. So now I'll first try to share the screen and see which things I need to add here. Okay, so I hope.
Yes, we can see.
You can see everything. Very good. Just trying to see now where my chat is. Because you can imagine that my screens are all full of different windows and stuff. Chat is here. Okay, so I'll open this one as well. So you can see my first slide here, the title slide, I hope, yeah? Yep. So let's begin then. Just arrange the windows a bit. So I'm ready to start. And here you can see then the title of our today's workshop, which is how to engage your audience during online and offline events. So it can be any kind of public speaking event, live streaming, a lecture, anything like that. And I'm not really going to concentrate on the functions available inside video conferencing tools like this Zoom here. So you all probably know that there is a whiteboard and it's possible to set up different polls. You can organize or arrange breakout rooms and things like that. And I'm sure you are already quite familiar with these functions. So I'm looking at different tools, and mostly then web tools, which are available for anyone and which are free for you to use. So you don't have to pay anything. Of course, in some cases, there are tools where there are different plans, like a free plan and a paid plan. But in most cases, a free plan will do. So it depends on what exactly you are planning. So I asked AI to create two photos here. So one is like a face-to-face conference that you can see on the left-hand side, and another one is an example of an online meeting. So here we are probably speaking about some kind of video conferencing tool that is used, but in both cases, those tools that I'm going to show you might be suitable for you. So what does the term audience engagement mean? Let's start with this one. And why is it important to interact with your audience? So I think these two things we should cover first, and then we can go to have a look at the tools. So here I have one definition, that audience engagement is the act of encouraging your attendees to actively participate in your event, or also interact with you or your content. So this is a nice definition to start with. And why we should do it, so probably you all understand that it helps to ensure that your audience is really listening to you, that they are understanding your message. So it means that it helps to keep them focused and less distracted. So studies also show that an engaged audience learns and retains information better. So you as teachers, you probably know that this is true, yeah? That if you don't really interact with the content that you have been given, then we cannot really speak about learning. But there is one thing that I would like you to keep in mind, is that getting your audience's attention is only the first battle. Keeping it is another challenge. So I might ask a warm-up question maybe at the beginning of my workshop or lecture, but if that's it and nothing else follows, then we cannot really speak about sustained attention. So we could have, like, every now and then maybe some kind of interaction. So then we are really talking about true engagement. And now something that Annuka mentioned yesterday made me think about this matter a bit more, that we should be aware at the same time of the fact that some people are shy also online. So we might think that, of course, in the classroom, maybe we ask a question and they are not ready to answer, but also online it might happen that some people prefer to be spectators or listeners. And I think that's okay as well. So we cannot force everyone to speak, or we cannot force everyone to add a comment here and there. So it should be it should be an opportunity, a possibility for them, but not like a compulsory thing to do. And of course, the highest level of engagement that we can speak about is of co-creating something with others. So I'm going to show you some examples of co-creation as well. So how it's not just commenting or asking questions, but doing something together with your audience. Okay, so let's continue. And now comes the first warm-up question for you. So here, as there are so few of us, I think it's okay if you just open your microphone and you can share some of your practices with us all. So I would like you to bring some examples of how you have so far engaged your students, your audiences during webinars or other online events, for example. What have you used? Any specific tools or anything? Anyone who is ready? Beatrice.
Yes, I used preparatory sessions before in groups. We had working groups before the online webinar.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they had already discussed before, it was easier for them to engage and participate.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Anyone else who has done something? Yeah, Marju, your hand is up.
Hello, I have used the Mentimeter
Okay.
with my students. And also I have used this kind of word cloud building with students.
Very good, very nice. So this Mentimeter, when you've used it, what kinds of questions have you asked them, or which of these possibilities have you used together with them?
Yeah, I used it at the first lecture to give this kind of overall idea what of the expectations of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And I also use it like this kind of icebreaker. I put some kind of funny questions there also.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked really well. And it also worked technically.
Very good, very good.
Luckily.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Maru, can you write it in the chat, please, the name of the software?
Yeah.
I will be speaking about it.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is one of the
Lovely.
this is one of the tools that I will start with. But this is good that Mario has some experience. So
yeah, and for the word cloud, I had this kind of written tasks, this short written task, and they sent it to me by email before the class, and during the class, I just in real time I showed them how to use this word cloud, and it was kind of interesting to them also to see this kind of method.
Yeah, I'll show you some word cloud tools today as well. Very good. Anyone else who has used anything like Mario mentioned, some kind of digital tool, web tool for audience interaction, audience engagement?
No.
If not, you are in the right place, I think. So there is then something that you might get from me. Okay, but let's continue. Thank you for your comments. And this is the last slide before we start looking at different tools. So I wrote down here some ways that these are, I think, the most famous ways of engaging your audience. And most of these tools that you will get to know about today help you to do one or another of these things that you can see here. So, of course, the most important thing, I think, is to have some kind of icebreaker or a warm-up activity at the beginning of anything you do online, just to warm people up. Either it's just a normal chat or something like that, maybe some kind of brain teaser to make your students or audience think about something, or just some warm-up questions. And another thing, and this is probably also very famous, is this Q&A session that you can organize. Maybe you've been to different conferences, international conferences, where some people take part in the auditorium, but others are there online. And then they normally provide some kind of interaction tool which enables anyone to send questions to the presenters. And then the presenter can either have a look at these questions coming in real time, or a moderator is the one who has a look at these things and then asks the presenter different questions if needed, if there is time. Then there are tools which enable live chat. So like in Zoom. So when we are working together with you here, so anyone could ask anything under this meeting chat. And there are so many other tools which enable people to do it. So when we were in YouTube on Monday, so then also, if you have a YouTube account, you are logged in, so then it's possible to use the live chat area as well. Then quite a lot of tools offer polls. So poll meaning that there is a question, you would like to see which members of the audience think like that, and so on. So you can create these kinds of things here and there. Then a nice thing is also to organize a quiz, a live quiz, or an interactive game. And this one normally includes different questions that you can ask. So either to find out the prior knowledge of your students when they come to the classroom, or maybe at the end of the session, you can have a little quiz to find out how much they understood and how much they learned during your session. Then we could have all kinds of brainstorming sessions. which create maybe a word cloud in the end. So Marju mentioned this thing. All kinds of discussion questions, either you do it as an overall, as an overclass activity, so that all the students are supposed to think about one or another question, or maybe you put them into different breakout groups, breakout rooms, and there in these rooms, they have to discuss these questions with their classmates or members of people who participate in this workshop, for example. And then another very important thing has to do with physical engagement. So maybe this is something that we don't think very often, but physical engagement in that sense, that it's a good idea to ask your audience every now and then to raise a hand. So in real life, for example, even when I'm sitting behind the computer, I might ask you all to raise your hand if you think so. Yeah. Then I might ask you to nod or shake your head. Yeah, so either you agree or disagree. I might ask you to wave to me. I might ask you to stretch yourselves every now and then, because probably you know that physical movement is very important when we want our learners to learn something new, because our brain works when we move physically. Yeah, the more we move, the better. So these kinds of brain breaks, I think, are also important. And breakout sessions, I already mentioned, but one more thing I've added here, for me, for example, whenever I take part in a conference, somewhere abroad especially, and I meet a lot of new people, so then it's very important for me to share the knowledge that I have gathered during these workshops or seminars as well. And I like the idea of people live tweeting, sending posts to different social media platforms where they speak about their experience, where they share the thoughts that they have gathered. So in a way, if you make a live tweet, for example, on Twitter or X, so which name you prefer, it depends on that right now. So if you share something like that and add some hashtags to your posts, I think this is also a nice way to show that you've been engaged and it has really touched something inside you. So this is also something you can ask your students to do, that tweet about it, say what exactly did you enjoy about this session of ours today. So these are the first ideas that came to my mind when I prepared for this session. And now, as one of the icebreakers that I'd like to use with you, let's make use of the chat area now, not the microphones, but anyone who is here. I would like you to name 3 apps, 3 web tools that you cannot live without. So if these were taken away from you today, you cannot use them after today, so you would be really miserable. So it would make your life harder. So just write 3 names. I can start with mine. For me, for example, the 3 most important tools at the moment are Google Drive, where I keep everything that I make. So it's either a document or a spreadsheet or presentation. Then the second tool for me is YouTube, because this is where I get most of my knowledge when I watch other people's videos or live streams. And the third one for me is Twitter or X, because this is where I have a lot of acquaintances, a lot of my network of educational technologists from all over the world who share new tools with me. And this is how I get to know about things that are available. So let me have a look at what you've written here. WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, so quite a lot of social media apps. Google Calendar is very important. And of course, the bank, online bank app, Dropbox, Spotify, probably to listen to music. Yeah, LinkedIn. Really nice tools that you've mentioned here. It seems you are all very sociable people, yeah? So really active on different social media platforms. So this is just an example of an icebreaker that I could actually start with, because we are talking about apps today and you are sharing some nice ideas with me as well. And I also wanted to show you, I'll show you another screen here. This is one website which is called Form Time Ideas. There is one guy who is behind this website, which contains a lot of warm-up ideas. So if you just know the website formtimeideas.com, you go here, you see all kinds of famous quotes and joke of the day, some brain teasers, even some mental maths activities, or some interesting facts. Did you know that this thing happened this day in 1974, for example? Someone tried and failed to assassinate President Richard Nixon. So these kinds of things just provide you with ideas what to do at the beginning of your session. So just to make people warm up a bit. And what's great about the website, whenever you refresh it, so whenever you refresh the page, it gives you completely different ideas. So there is a big database of ideas that you can choose from here. So maybe the advertisements are the only things that disturb you here. But even here, if there is a brain teaser and you click show answer, so then you can see the real answer. New fact, for example, if I click here, another interesting fact appears. And flags of different countries, daily referendum, for example. I can decide here whether energy drinks should be restricted. So I say, for example, yes, and then I see how many people have answered like this or that before me. So today there have already been 781 votes on this question. So this is another idea I wanted to share with you when we speak about warm-up activities. Because why asking questions like that is a good thing. I didn't mention it before. When you ask a question, people almost automatically start to consider their answer, even if they don't write it down or even if they don't speak up. So they move from passive listening to active participation. So whenever I make you think, I don't see if you are thinking, but I'm sure whatever question I give you, it makes your brain think about it for a little while. So this is important. Okay, so let's go back to this slideshow. Yeah, the last thing here I wanted to mention about those live tweets and posts on social media, that I truly believe in the sentence that sharing is caring. So whenever you have some knowledge, there's no point in keeping it to yourself. So it's always better to share it with others, so then they learn to use these new tools as well. So that's why I'm ready to share these ideas anytime people are interested in new knowledge. Okay, but let's now look at the first tool that I have picked for you. And Mario mentioned it. It's called Mentimeter. Yeah, it's available on the website mentimeter.com. So later on, you'll get my slides as well. So everything here is clickable, and these links take you to the right places. So most of these tools that I'm going to speak about today are they are called presentation software, but not just for showing your slides, but also adding all kinds of engaging activities, interactive activities in between your slides, so that you can make your students or audience then answer a couple of questions. And here I have then given you some facts about it, which help you maybe later on decide whether this is the right tool for you or not. So in Mentimeter, there are two different plans. There is a free plan and a paid plan. But of course, the free version always comes with some limitations. So you have to be aware of these. What's great about Mentimeter is that you can have an unlimited number of presentations there. So as many as you want, so there's no limit to presentations. But there are limits to how many questions you can have in one presentation. So these kinds of limits are there. So for example, with a free account, it's only possible to have 2 live polls with your students. And these live polls might contain multiple choice questions. You might create a word cloud together with your students. You might ask them some open-ended questions. And there are also question types like scales and ranking. But actually, the list is much longer than what you can see here on this slide. And if you want to ask some quiz questions, it means you really want to check which student answered how. So then, in addition to those 2 live polls, you can have maximum 5 quiz questions with a free account. But the Q&A session is free for anyone. So you can just keep it open and enable people to ask you as many questions during your lecture as possible. If you want to upload your own slides, for example, PowerPoint slides, then you need a paid plan. So you cannot upload your slides without it. And the participants don't need any accounts. So they just go to the website menti.com and they need a PIN code from the teacher to participate. And what else I discovered, now there is this kind of restriction that the total number of participants voting across all your presentations in 1 month is 50 with a free plan. So this is something that they have recently changed because before it, they didn't have anything like that. But we can find later on some other tools maybe which enable us to have a lot of different participants. So now my plan is to try it out with you. So you can either open a new tab in your browser, or if you have a mobile phone with you, so then you can try it out like that. So let's just see how this tool works if you've never used it before. So this is what it looks like from the inside. So here are all my presentations, different ones. I can have them in folders or just here, as you can see them. So, but now one of the presentations I would like to use with you is called Mentimeter example. So this is my teacher dashboard. I click it. It opens here. And I have 2 slides for you. As you know, then I can only have 2 during my session. So I now click present. And you have to go to the website menti.com and use this number as the PIN code. 81236108. So that's the number you need to enter. And then after that, you can tell me whether you would rather visit Disneyland or Legoland. If you could choose one, which would be your choice? 81236108. Okay, so I have random questions here, nothing to do with live streaming. It's just to make you feel comfortable and make your choice. So probably these are all the answers, that we are getting right now. So you see it's in real time, right away, everyone can see how people voted, but at the same time, it's all anonymous. So I cannot later on go and see who answered what. But we can continue with our discussion after that. And now the second question, I just click next slide. And now there is an open-ended question. Why did you pick either Disneyland or Legoland? So what's your reason? Why would you like to go there, but not to another place which was available? And again, when you start sending your responses, they all appear here on the screen as well. So someone heard the snacks are better there. Yeah. Very good. Okay. Because I like it a lot. Yeah, that's a nice reason as well. So it's more creative and even technology driven. I completely agree. My choice would have been Legoland as well. So as a child, I dreamed about Legoland a lot. So I liked building these kinds of things using Lego blocks. But I've not been in Legoland, but visited Disney a few times. Yeah, you are lucky if you've been to Disneyland. And now of course, there is only one choice for you. Very nice. Yeah, so, and someone is going to Denmark in June. So very good. So 6 responses reached me. Yeah. So thank you very much. So this is how I can just hide those slides between some other slides of mine, and then I could continue with some theory as well. And you see, when I'm inside of this, when I'm building it for my lesson, so here on the left-hand side are all the slides that I'm creating. So I could just click right now, plus new slide. And then it asks me what kind of slide I would like to create. And it warns me here that, so now those polls, enough of these for today. I cannot use them anymore. But down here, there are content slides. So I could actually build the whole presentation here with a heading, paragraph, bullet points, add a video, some kind of quote or image, anything like that. And now between these slides, I could have also those interactive questions. And then it's like a normal PowerPoint that I play and use in my lesson. So this is how you do it. But when you create a question, so here you can choose then what kind of question you would like to use on your slide. And I only mentioned 5 of these to you in the beginning, but actually there is a long list of all kinds of different things that you can add here. And when you are done, all you need to do is click present, and your students can right away see then the pin codes that has been created for you, and you can make them interact with you. So these kinds of tools, actually, there are lots of them. So maybe you've heard about WooClap. So this is also another one which does the same job. And in most of these tools, there are some limitations. So some might have unlimited questions, but maybe limited presentations. Some might have unlimited participants, but others might say that you can only have up to 100 people, for example. So you always have to go to a website of these. So let me show you this WooClap, for example. So which is also available. It's a very similar idea. So WooClap, and I always go to this page which says pricing. So I'll take all offers. And here I see then what I can do if I have a free plan, how much is the basic plan and pro and so on. And here I can read that maximum 2 questions, maximum 1,000 participants, unlimited events, and so on. And then it helps me decide which platform is better for my use case and which one not. maybe you remember that when we had a session with Paolo on Tuesday, he used a tool called Vevox. Yeah, he used a tool called Vevox. This also, as you noticed, enables you to create polls. But the thing with these tools that you are planning to use or create an account on, what you need to think about these days is where they are located. So Vevox is located in the USA. But now, you know, in Europe, we have this document, GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. So you probably heard about it. So this document requires that all data collected on citizens must be either stored in the European Union, so it is subject to European privacy laws, or within a jurisdiction that has similar levels of protection. So that's why these days they also advise you to read through some privacy policy available on the website or terms of service so that you are aware of where they keep your data and whether they might give this data to third-party organizations, for example, something like that. So that's why it's always better if you find a tool which is located in Europe. So one of these tools I'm going to show you right away. Okay, so this is Mentimeter. Some people like it a lot. I used to make use of Mentimeter a lot about maybe 2-3 years ago, but now I've discovered another tool which is even better in my opinion, but again it has some limitations. And this tool is QReport. So QReport is similar to Mentimeter, but it's specifically designed for teachers. So it helps teachers create engaging and interactive lessons. And this one is a Norwegian platform. That's why I recommend it more. It's in Europe. And this is my favorite at the moment. I used it with you on Monday during this live streaming session. And maybe you already checked it out and you know what it is. But let's speak about what it enables you to do. There is a free plan and a paid plan. I'm using a free plan and I managed to do everything with it. There is an unlimited, you can create unlimited presentations there. And now when we compare it to Mentimeter, it's possible to upload your own ready-made presentation. So you have a PowerPoint, for example, in your computer, you can upload your PowerPoint slides and then add different interactive elements. You can now, so last year it wasn't like that yet, so there was some kind of limitation, but now you can add unlimited questions. The only limitation is to question types. So most teachers, for some reason, like to have multiple choice questions in their presentations. But there is no such option. So you cannot add a multiple choice question where one question is correct, where one answer is correct. There is a poll where you can have different options, but it means that there is no correct answer. So any answer is good. You can have a word cloud. You can ask them to provide you with open-ended questions. You can ask them to draw something, underline, circle. So all these kinds of things you can do with a pen. So that's why I like this one a lot. And right now, there are also as many participants as you have. All of them can join in. So there's no limit. And a year ago, they added a lot of AI features as well. So you can ask AI to create something for you. So if you are if you are running out of time, for example, you don't have much time to prepare, so then here AI can give you a hand. And participants, go to this website, curie.live. So you go to the website curiepod.com. You are the only one who needs an account. Your students don't need to sign up. They just go to curie.live. So let's try now this one. I have also prepared some activities for you here. So that's again the view from the teacher's dashboard. Here I have already opened one presentation, which is called audience engagement. So I can create these kinds of slides again with a heading and images and text and whatnot. I could here click uploads, and this is where I upload my own presentation. And all the slides you can see down here. So this is where you can see all the slides that are there in your presentation right now. If you want a new slide, you click the plus sign here and you build a slide, or you ask an AI, to create this slide for you. But let's try the drawing tool. This might be a bit uncomfortable maybe at the beginning if this is your first time, but don't worry. Let's just try it out. And here it works like that. I click present as a teacher. So you go to curie.live, this website. And here it's also possible to scan the QR code to reach the right place. And you will be given a funny name. So again, you will be anonymous. And the number, the PIN code is here, yeah, 992178. So 3 people have already joined us. 5 of you are here. Huh? And now nothing happens before I decide to go to the next slide. That's why I have the title slide here as well. So probably, yeah, so 6 people have joined us. So now I will click the next slide. And even then, nothing happens till I choose to start the poll. But here I don't have a poll. I have a task which goes like this. When you get access to this slide, you will have there a pen tool. So I hope you will find it. It should be somewhere on the left-hand side. And your task is to use the pen tool and circle your favorite fruit in this picture. And then after that, click submit. And I, as a teacher, I have chosen 4 minutes for you to do that, but I can always give you more time by clicking the plus, or take some time away from you, or just stop the activity by clicking the stop button. So let's just try right now. So don't be scared if you don't know what to do, but just click the submit button later on. So I'll start it, and then you should see it on the screen. So look at your screen and see what you need to do. So there is the same picture. There is like a big whiteboard actually, where you can do a lot of things. You can draw and write, and you can erase if you do something wrong. And you can do all these things before submitting it to the teacher. So in real life, in the classroom context, I could also upload a PDF there, a worksheet, for example. And I could ask you to, for example, underline something on this worksheet, or add your answer, maybe make a tick in the right box. So these kinds of things can be...
I'm sorry, but I can only see this kind of white screen, and there's this logo is circling around, but no fruits.
No fruits?
Same for me.
Same for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me see. Maybe it's hidden somewhere. Maybe the picture is somewhere.
Same for me. Same for me.
Same for me.
Same for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the circle. I thought it has the time saying 166.
Okay, I'll try to go
I thought
quickly.
it will come after.
I'll go quickly and see what I see in my phone. I tried it out yesterday, then it worked, but maybe the screen is so big. Okay. It's circling here. Maybe it needs then better connection right now, yeah, because the same with me. It's not. It's like it's not loading or something. Okay, because you should actually see the picture. I'll turn it around. No. Okay. So. There is some kind of problem right now, but let me see. Maybe the next one then works. I'll stop it. And the next one is also, I don't want to show you the results. Well done. Yeah, so no one answered anything. But now, no responses. So let's see now whether this one works. Draw a smiley and click submit. Maybe there's, now, yeah, now it appears. Now it appears. Okay, so there was something wrong with the previous task then, maybe from my side. But you see, this is like an empty whiteboard here, where you could, the pen should be activated right away, I think. And then you could just draw something here and click the submit button. But as you see, it's possible to add all kinds of shapes and arrows and even text and images and whatnot, and then share these things with the teacher. So when I later on look at the results, I could see all the things you have drawn, but you are still anonymous. So let's see what you can share with me here. So I see 4 answers have reached me. And there is still about 1 minute to finish it. So I'll also try to draw something. Okay, and now when I stop it, so I'll just stop it. Maybe you didn't manage to send it to me, but I believe most people have submitted. And here, when I click the green button results, I can see all these 7 drawings, but again, it might take time till they reach me. So they are still loading, coming from Spain and Portugal and so on. So if you were in Estonia, maybe it would work better in this case. So I'll let it load here. Maybe later on I can show you the results then, but it was just one activity type that I wanted to try out with you, because normally people just ask questions, and ask for some keywords for brainstorming or something, but drawing is something different. So right now, so they are not showing at the moment. Okay, but anyway, so when I go back, I have to end the session then, but let me then quickly show you how to create such questions. So when you have your own slides, you can just click the plus sign, and then you see what you can do. And 2 important places here are generate with AI or create your own. So when I'm here under create your own, so I can start an open question, drawing, poll, or word cloud. So AI feedback is available for paid accounts. So if you have a paid plan only. And here are the content slides that you could build inside this tool if you don't have anything to upload. But now a great thing here is this generate with AI, which I mentioned earlier. And there are a lot of different things you can do here. So you can even have a full lesson plan created for you by AI. If you just tell AI what the topic of your lesson is and how old are your students. So this can be done here. But when I just click this arrow here, there are a lot of different things. Let's see, brain break, would you rather. So for example, if I take would you rather from here, and I just say the topic of my lesson is technology, for example, and I click do magic, then AI creates one thing here. If I click it, the plus, I see what it has added. Would you rather have an AI assistant that always knows what you need before you do, but also roasts you with witty comebacks, or a teleportation device that only works when you dab before using it? So this kind of would you rather was created. And if I don't want it, I just click here and delete it. And let's go back to generators. If I want to ask, did you know kind of question? So let's say, did you know? And let's write AI. The topic is AI. Do magic. Then it gives me a full slide with some nice facts about AI, together with pictures, and so on. So these kinds of things you just have to try out because there are so many of them. So even one workshop, I think, is not enough to show you all these possibilities that are available here. So for a full lesson, all you need to do is just say what kind of grade your students are, for example, professional development, like at the moment. And then let's write, for example, audience engagement is the topic of our workshop right now. And then when I click do magic, it gives me a lot of ready-made slides where there is some theory, where there are already some engaging activities, and so on. So, and you can decide which of these slides you would like to use in your project and which not. So let's see how much time it might take to create the slides. And of course, if I want to, I can add my own slides as well. And that's it. Okay, but here it might take some time for a full lesson. Yeah, it's not so easy. But here you see a lot of different slides. Let's see how many altogether. 14 different slides and interactive things here. Drawings, a knowledge slide, for example, strategies for engaging different types of audiences. Let's look at some poll as well. Which of the following is not a technique for enhancing audience engagement? So I could actually prepare for today's workshop with the help of AI as well. So, and all you need to do when it's ready is to present and ask your students to join in. So this is Q-Report. Let's go on and see the next thing. Answer Garden is now one tool which is great because it doesn't ask you to create an account. So this is available without any registration. And the website is answergarden.c&h. Answergarden.ch. Czech Republic, I believe, maybe is where it's situated. And it looks like this. The website looks like this. And all you need to do is click Create Answer Garden. And this helps you to ask your students to do some brainstorming and all the answers form a word cloud in the end. And I'll just write here, wild animals in English. So you need to give it a title, wild animals in English. I'll keep it in classroom mode. And the answers can be maximum 20 characters long, but the maximum is 40 characters. If they have to write long, then make it 40. If you want to have some kind of, no, can I say it? You want to, for example, later on go and throw out maybe some answers or edit the this kind of activity. So then you need to come up with a password as well. And this will be sent to your email then later on, the link which enables you to do some changes in it. But I'm not going to do it right now. So just quickly showing that if I want to do it right away in the classroom, together with my students. I just click create and it's ready. And I'll share the link with you in this chat area. And you can just click it and write animal names in English, but you have to do them separately. Write one wild animal in English, then click submit. Then write another one and click submit. And we'll see which ones are the most popular ones later that most of you have mentioned. So some animals have been added, so make them wild animals only. And the bigger the word is, then that means that more people have mentioned this one. So if you mentioned it only once, then it's not that big. And this is how in real time the word cloud gets bigger and bigger. And when I now go and hover over this word, I can see how many people have mentioned it. For example, lion was mentioned 4 times, elephant 3 times, and giraffe 2 times. So these are the most popular things. So for that tool, what I like about it most is that no one needs to create an account, but I can ask my students to do different things here. It might be a feedback question, for example. People have to say something about your workshop in the end. Here right now, we're just naming animals, and it helps me maybe to figure out what words my students already know in English when it comes to wild animals. Okay, so this is Answer Garden, and very simple, a very simple tool. Now, Canva. So I'm not sure how many of you have ever used Canva for presentations, but recently I've started to create my presentations in Canva. And there is a possibility to use a function called Canva Live. And let's see what this is all about. So I have the same presentation that I'm using right now in Canva. And when I go here, or in the upper right-hand corner, there is the button Present. I click it. And then I click Presenter View. So not just Present, but Presenter View. So then this actually opens 2 different windows. And I'll keep them here so that you see what these windows are all about. So this first window here, these are the slides that I showed to my students. But this one in the background that you can see, this is what I see on another screen. So for this kind of activity, it's good to have 2 screens. So this is what you present to the students. I'll now enter full screen. So that's what the students will see. But when I close it, sorry, now it closes for you as well. I'll just put it somewhere else so that it won't disturb us. Okay, so this, what you see now, this is what the teacher sees. So I see what are my next slides coming down here. This is what the students can see. And here you could see your notes as well. So if you have something next to the slides, what you are planning to say. But look here, there is another button called Canva Live. And when I click that one, and I click Start New Session, this is when I open an opportunity for my students to have a Q&A session with me. And when I click copy invitation, no, invite, invite. So here I see that the students have to go to a website, canva.live, and then add this code, which is much longer. So we are not going to try it out right now with you, but there is a possibility that you give this to them. So I copy this invitation, for example, and put it here in the chat for you. So you might go and see what it looks like. So click Canva Live and use this code. And then I can see what kinds of questions you are going to ask me. So it's possible for you to write your question and send it to me, and I can see on my screens, on my screen all your questions. So this is a possibility how to make them more active. And right now you see there is this red button, which means that my presentation is live at the moment. And if I want to, I just end the session, and I see that 3 people are here at the moment. So this is Canva Live. Most people don't know about this feature inside Canva, which enables you to do it. Okay, so I'm not going to try it out with you right now, but at least you managed to get inside, and you see Anonymous has asked, how old are you? Yeah, so I can see it. So not the students, but I can see it. How do you drink your coffee and so on? So you see. Okay, and the same kind of thing, by the way, when I want to end the session, yeah, I have to click end session, and after that, you cannot ask me any more questions. You know? End session, and that's it. Okay, but in Google Slides, there is a similar possibility. So I'll come out of my presentation right now. But if you start it, if you start a simple slideshow, and down here, there are 3 dots. Let me see if I can. It doesn't allow me to do it right now. I don't see where the 3 dots are. Yeah? So there should be in the left-hand corner, there are 3 dots that you need to click. And then you go to more and take Q&A from here. So click the 3 dots where the slide numbers are given, then go to more and Q&A. And after that, see, opens again this kind of second window, which I hide. I put it onto my other screen. Here I can see speaker notes, and here are audience tools. And when I click Start New, after that, you see, students can also see that they have to go to this website, quite a long one. So slides.app.goo.gl and slash and numbers and letters. So it's probably too long right now for you to write. But again, if they now post a question, I can see it right away. Yeah? So these kinds of tools are available when you don't have a Zoom meeting, or yeah, so maybe you just you are there at a conference, you use your Google Slides slideshow, and you want people to send you questions. You don't need a separate app to do it. So it's available inside Canva, and it's available inside Google Slides as well. So this is how simple it is. Okay, so let's continue. And so I think now maybe I missed something. Yeah, I have already gone through some slides which I didn't want to do. Padlet is the next one, yeah? Okay, so Padlet, I think I asked you on Monday whether you have ever used it. So now you can raise your hand if you have ever used Padlet in your classroom. No hands right now. Okay, so this is, yeah, this is quite, it's actually quite an old tool. But now, in recent years, this web tool has gone through a lot of developments. And that's why I would like to show some of these to you. So the latest package of updates contained 42 different new features that you can do there. And let's have a quick look at what it enables you to do. So you can create virtual boards for collaboration with the help of Padlet. And if you have a free plan, it's possible to have 3 active boards where you ask members of the audience to collaborate with you. They can add anything there, videos, pictures, just comments. You can create polls there. It has now lots of AI features as well. How I've used it, I've asked my workshop audience to create a map of participants. So there is a world map, and I can ask anyone to put a pin in the place where they live or where their school is, for example. Now it's also possible to organize breakout rooms there. So some students can only add content in this or that area of the board and so on. So I've said here, let's try. So this is actually the one that I used with you the other day. I'll add the link for you here in the chat if you want to join me right now as well, just to try things, because I've allowed you to write anything, do anything here, but you cannot delete anyone else's posts. So this is a good thing. And now when you are here as a student, for example, or as a participant, so you can click this little plus down here on the right-hand side. And then you can do a lot of different things. So if you just want to add text, you can either write your comment here on the subject, or down here where it's said, write something beautiful. But you see, there are also options that you can upload a file. You can add a link to some other website. You can even take a photo together with your webcam, for example. You can search for an image online. And when you click those 3 dots, you see what else you can do here. You can add a poll. If you cannot draw, you can ask AI to draw something. You can even add Spotify music, YouTube videos, and anything like that. You can create a audio clip, a video clip, screen recorder. So all these things are available on Padlet. It's just that there are some limitations, like maybe the sound, the audio clip can be like 15 minutes long or so on. So right now I don't want to do anything, but these kinds of things are available. And one thing that I wanted to show to you is how to set up a poll. So I'll quickly add one poll here, and it goes like that. What is your favorite season? And then I write the choices: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And when I click add, it appears here. And in order to publish it, I need to click publish as well. And then this is here. And now all of you can go and tell me what your favorite season is. So mine is, for example, spring. So I vote. And we can see that already 3 people have voted. I see the percentages right away. So those kinds of things can be added very quickly to your board without any problem. So imagine that this is just an endless board, virtual board, where you can write anything and do anything as long as you allow your students to collaborate with you. Because this board can also be available so that students can only see what's on the board, but they cannot really add anything. And some examples to you, I mentioned the map. For example, there is this kind of template that you can have the world map. And when students click the plus sign, they have to tell their location. So I could go here and search, for example, a place name, Tallinn, for example, and I click, I take, for example, Tallinn, Estonia, and I publish, and it will appear on the same map. So this one I used during one of my Erasmus Plus courses. So these were all the members of from different schools who could come and show me then where they are from and add some videos, add their school web link and so on. And when I mentioned breakouts, so here it's just an Estonian board that I'm using to introduce some new features of Padlet. So here you see I have organized my material on different shelves. The first shelf contains images. Then I might ask students to add some music, then some videos, and then come the polls. And when I click the 3 dots behind these kinds of shelves, there is a link, copy breakout link. So when I share this with my students, it means that they can only come and add material under this section. If I click videos and copy breakout link, they can only come and add materials here under this section. So a lot of different possibilities. And when I go to the dashboard of Padlet, then here, all you need to do when you have a free account is click Make a Padlet. And then it gives you a lot of templates. You have to just think through what kind of template you need. Is it the brainstorming board? Is it the slideshow board? Anything. There are hundreds of different templates. Or you start from scratch, just a blank board. So this is also possible. And now the newest thing that you can see here, these sparkles, green on the green background. Yeah. So when I click this one here under custom board, there are different AI features. You can ask AI to create a lesson plan and put it on a virtual board. You can ask it to create a reading list for your students, a map of historical events, and all again you need to do is describe what exactly you would like to do. For example, if it's a timeline of events, subject is world history, and maybe higher education, topic is World War II. I might even give a certain time period here, and then I click create. Then it will give me a ready-made Padlet board with events that happened during the Second World War. I have actually here some examples for you. So it usually takes around 1 minute. It's said here, but I'll show you what it managed to give me before. So here, for example, it's a world map with different events that happened. Attack on Pearl Harbor. Where exactly was it? D-Day. So I can see this thing and some information, pictures and things like that. So all this, I didn't add anything here. It was all done by AI, and I, as a history teacher, could go and use it in the classroom with my students. So these kinds of, now this is the one that it created, World War II timeline. And I don't even need to look for pictures, images, black and white images given here. So maybe you find something like that is useful for your topic that you teach at university. Okay, so this is Padlet. No. Maybe this one we can also have time to explain. Miro. How familiar is this tool to you? This is a nice tool for co-creation as well. And this is probably the last one that I have time to try out with you. Miro is actually this kind of tool which is used by many teams all around the world. So it's a tool which enables you to do a lot of different things, a lot of teamwork in your organization. But what people don't know is that they have a light version of their software available so that you don't need to create an account. And also your students don't need to create an account. And for that, I have created here one board for you. It's an endless board again, and I'll share it with you. I'll give you the link, put it on the chat so you can all go click it and see where you end up. So it's a whiteboard where you can add a lot of different things. It's possible to use a pen. It's possible to use a sticky note. You see on the left-hand side, there is a sticky note. You can type text. You can add all kinds of shapes and connection lines, different arrows and so on. And all these things you can do when you join my board. Yeah. So now it's loading again. Yeah. Okay, so I can see that you are up here. Yeah, so there are again visiting creator, and Anuka probably has an account. Yeah, so that's why you can join this board as well. But now try to click this sticky note button here and add a sticky note with your dream destination. So just click it, choose the right color for you. Let's say I'll pick now a pink one, and then I place it anywhere here on this board, and I write my dream destination is Peru, for example. And when I click enter, I can go to the next line, but I have to just click out of this sticky note to get out of it. And you see we have Paris here. I can move it. Yeah, Anuka is writing something. You can add your answer as text when you click this T and just again drag the box here and say Peru, for example, here. So all these things I can do. I can make it bigger. I can change the font. I can use bold and so on. The only thing which is difficult maybe in the beginning is how to move on the board. I'm using a mouse. So when I click the left-hand button of my mouse, then this is for selection. I can select something, or I use the select tool. But when I use the right-hand button of my mouse, this is how I can do this. I can just drag the board and maybe go to some other place, because this is again an endless whiteboard where you can add anything you want. You can add different shapes here. Yeah, I can add arrows, for example. This arrow takes me to this Peru, for example, and we could all do this together. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that this board is available for 24 hours maximum. So after that, it will be deleted, so it's no longer there. But during your sessions, during your lectures, if you just maybe 1 hour before the lecture, you create this whiteboard, you share the link with students, then you can all come and do whatever you want here. So this is what I wanted to show to you. And here probably I've mentioned what it is, that it's a virtual whiteboard, no sign up required, just share the link. You can add these things. And if you want to later on keep it just as a memory of what you did, so then there is a button, export this board. Yeah, export this board. And now it says that you have to sign up to export this board. But earlier I had a possibility to download it as an image or a PDF. So maybe it's because it loaded again. So earlier I have managed to download it as well. But even if it doesn't work for you, it's very simple to just make a screenshot of this. So just a screenshot and save it in your computer, so it's possible to show it later on as to what exactly you managed to do with your students. So a lot of these things you can try out. And let me see if I can create one here. Yeah, I'll close this one. I'll just imagine that I'm going to look for it once again. No, I don't want Miro. I want Miro Light. And this is the one. So when I go here for the first time, this is what you'll see. So it created a board for me. This is now completely empty. And if I want to share it with someone, I just click share board, take copy link and share it with my students. So just 20 hours left to save your board, yeah, because I already started it and it understands that I have already created it. So I hope you like this tool. Because I have used it during my workshops with teachers as well, though I have a Miro account as well. So the only two tools that I have ever paid for in my life are Canva, because I want to use the pro tools there. And for higher education, they don't provide a free account. And another one is Miro, which enables me to do a lot of great things which I cannot do, for example, here on this light version of it. Okay, so now I'll just go through those slides. I wanted to show you quizzes as well, but maybe there are people who have tried it already. There is one Estonian game. Maybe you know that tomorrow it's Estonia's birthday. So our Independence Day is celebrated tomorrow. So then I created a little game for you, which checks your knowledge on Estonia, but I'll leave it aside. There is also Slido, which is similar to Mentimeter and Curipod. So you can read about its limitations here. So what it can do and what not. And what I found out is that it can be integrated into Zoom meetings as well, and also MS Teams and Google Slides and PowerPoint. So there are these kinds of integrations as well. Why it's better than Mentimeter, because you can have 3 polls in one event. And there are also nice question types, multiple choice, word cloud, quiz, rating, open text and ranking. So you might prefer this one, but there is a limit up to 100 participants. If you have a free account, so maximum 100 people can take part in your sessions. And the last thing I added here is just for you, because I once created it for my own training of teachers. I showed them these kinds of reflection cards that I made with the help of a web tool called LearnHip. And you'll understand right away when I show you what these cards are. I normally finish my training sessions with a set of questions. So it's possible here, when you create an account, it's possible to create all kinds of discussion cards. And it looks like this. Your feedback on the course. And me as a teacher, when I just click start, my students can see some questions. These just come randomly. For example, I might ask, what improvements would you suggest for this course or for this training? When I click the next button, how active were you during the course? So they have to evaluate their own participation and activeness. What are your 3 key takeaways from the course, for example? Which topic would you like to know more about? So there are about 20 different questions, reflection questions that you can ask your audience before you finish. What surprised you most? What topics were missing? Which training activities did you enjoy most? What will you do differently now that you've attended the course? What do you appreciate most about the course? And so on and so forth. So there are very many of them. So I have given you the link. So when you later on get the slideshow, you are welcome to use those questions in your practice. So the link takes you to the same things. But if you would like to have your own question set, so then you can create it here. If you don't make an account on this website, there is a nice possibility that you create those cards, but the link stays active for maximum 1 month. So it's possible to have a set of cards without an account, but you have to keep in mind that 1 month later, this link doesn't work anymore. So you don't have access to it. So my last question to you is now, so you can add your comments in the chat box. So imagine that there was one reflection card like that. So which of these tools that I introduced today so seemed like the one that you would like to try out first with your students? So was it Mentimeter, Curipod, Answer Garden, Padlet, Miro-Lite? So those we managed to try out with you, but which one did you like most? Annuka thinks it's Padlet, yeah. For Maria, it was Canva and Mentimeter, yeah, Canva Live, yeah, I forgot to mention that one. What about others? Padlet as well, yeah. Padlet has a lot of functionality that you can do actually everything. It's like your live chat, and it's a place where you can ask students to co-create something. And as a teacher, yeah, so there are very many options that you can use. And if you haven't really used this website before, so there is maybe something that I have to show to you. Don't be worried about the fact that you can only have 3 active boards. I have 20 as a maximum because I am a very old user of Padlet. So those who created an account years ago, so they have more, they can have more Padlets than new users. But whenever you have finished with one Padlet, there is a possibility that you click these 3 dots here and you say that it should be archived. So the moment you click this button, you are not really deleting your Padlet, but it won't be active anymore. It is still available, but you archive it and you get one more free space for you. So you can then create a new Padlet, even if you have already created 3 before. So this is an option for you. Always put it into archive and you can have another new Padlet without a need to use a paid plan. Yeah. Okay, so that's it from me. Thank you for your attention. And I hope there was something for each one of you, so you can comment also in the chat area or open your microphone if you think it was worth attending. And Annuka, if you are here, so I can...
I'm here.
Yeah, I can stop my sharing and I will take the floor over to you.
Thank you, Piretta. It was once again most useful, although I feel a bit overwhelmed with the abundance of all these different tools and how to use them and how to select. But it's good that we have a glimpse of all of these and have some kind of idea what all is out there. Okay, and right on the spot, the dog starts barking here at home.
It's nice to know that someone else has a dog who might start barking because
I will just capture it and come back. So 2-minute break.
that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. So I'm also always, whenever I have these kinds of things from home, I am a bit worried about the behavior of my dog because she hasn't been trained well, so she can be a nuisance sometimes.
But I think we're going to summarize right at the end. I think we learned huge amount of things and we need some time to kind of melt it in and reflect and think what are usable for us, what are usable for our students. And all feedback is most welcome. on all these elements and what you feel would be most useful for also for your students, as we are now starting to prepare the content for the students as well. And I'm really happy to summarize that I felt that we had a very broad encompassing perspectives on the topic of streaming. And this was mainly to thank, I must thank Kari and Piret and Paolo and Hannele, who did most of the job. I'm very grateful for you, and I think maybe we give them a warm applause. And we also learned about online fatigue. And I think we might be all going to sleep for at least a day or two after all these sessions. But now the floor is free if you wish to share something towards the end. Otherwise, I think I will close this seminar, online seminar on streaming.
Yeah, I just wanted to make one comment. That is clear that you are well communicators and you have, I think, shown us in real life and in practical way how can you engage students, how can you do the streaming more in a practical way. And you have shown us with deeds what you were saying with your words.
Thank you. And with this warm thank you, I will end the recording and we might still share a few words afterwards.
Thank you from me as well, because I know that all these tools, there are a lot of them, and